Well, I guess I'll give it a few minutes for some people to come in. I don't know why I'm hearing myself. Well, hello, backyard carp. How you doing today, Gary? Guess you're not working today either. Hello, Kelly. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Give it a little bit. Just a couple of minutes. I don't know if notifications are going out for this like they should or not. Might need to mute my TV if I can find a remote. According to the counter, we got 7 people in. Karina's not with me today. She had to work. We're having supply issues at work, so I've been off the last few days. Oh, you was off Thursday and Friday also, Gary? Well, that doesn't sound like a good time, Kelly. Oh, Chrissy Brown, thanks for coming in. I appreciate that, Chrissy. I know I think Ernie's still on his live over there that I was watching earlier. I get this position where I need it. I'm showing 9 people watching, so I guess we'll go ahead and start. Hey, Mike Irvin, thanks for coming in. So what I have today is an Abu Garcia 5000C. That Bugman sent me. Do a little cleaning on for him. Nice looking little reel, just pretty dirty. Now I'm gonna have to get me a better camera for this because looks like my phone is just all slow, digitized and whatnot. I don't like the quality of the video, and I've got it set as high as I can get it. It just doesn't look real good. Looks like the camera on the laptop is doing a better job. But, that's what I got to work with. So that's what I'll use. Oh, I forgot to grab this schematic that I always have. Well, I guess I can't really say always because there's times that I don't have one. Maybe it'll show up better over here. I'm not certain. I can get that pulled back far enough. But we have the schematic just because I like to be kind of sure on what I'm doing and how everything goes back together. I'm not a professional. I just kind of do this as well. I don't know if it would be a hobby, but just what I started doing just because I had back surgery and needed something to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Got the handle nut. Now let's try to set everything over to the side and kind of like the order that it came out. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but this doesn't have the clip that most of them have. This has a screw going into the drag shaft there, or whatever you want to call it. This schematic doesn't have names and stuff on it, part names. So take that little guy loose, take him out. Your handle off. It definitely needs a good cleaning. You got your handle tension washer. Looks like it needs to be rebit. Star drag taken off. Well, that thing unwinds a long way. There we go. Let's see what all falls out of there. Because I know we got some washers in there. Tension washers that don't seem to want to come out this way. So we'll just go ahead and take our spool tension knob off. I don't know if you can see them or how well you can see them, but there's a couple of shims in there. I'll take our right side plate off. Looks like we got a little cap under there too on that. It was positioned right there. So, well, it doesn't want to come out now. Man, it'll come out here in a minute. Little sunfish for fish. Thanks for coming in. And it's got the two brakes on this one. Two brakes set up. It's an older reel, so I'll just slide right on out. Full tension knob off on that left side. And it's got a couple of shims inside there also. It's also got another little shim here that is on a little plate. So that's a little bit different than I've seen on the modern Abus. I believe this one is an older one. Doesn't look like that bearing's in too good a shape. Definitely needs a good cleaning. Screwdriver is. Take the left side plate off. Well, sunfish, no, there's not always felt in them. It depends on, I suppose that depends on the model. But for Abus, I've yet to see any felt in there. This is an older one, so it might have felt. Not certain. The Bugman had said that you got this from a neighbor. It was sitting in a garage for a while. I don't know how well you can see it, but you can see all that old grease there on your worm gear drive and your bait clicker drive. This one's held in with a screw. Now I know most of the new ones, they are just pressed on. And all they have is, both these are plastic gears. This one looks like a brass for the worm gear. Oh, this one doesn't have a bait clicker. Huh, interesting. The old gear will just press on out. There's a snap ring in this one that I wasn't expecting. I don't have my snap ring pliers. They're out in the garage, and I didn't know I was going to need them. Well, Sunfish, you took it apart when you were a kid, but did you get it back together? Because I've taken a lot of stuff apart when I was a kid. Can't quite say that I got them back together, though. That's interesting, man. Snap ring. See, I don't have my snap ring pliers because I didn't know I was going to need them. Hey, KY Redneck Outdoors, welcome. Now, this is one of those parts that I don't know if they are still available. We're definitely going to need to do some cleaning on this bearing. I think the bearing's fine, though. Just needs a good cleaning. So we'll go ahead and deal with this left side before we worry about the right side. A little soap and water here. Just Dawn dish soap is what I'm using. Let me get that bearing all clean as I can there. A little hard to hold on to. So I'll throw a little oil on here while we're cleaning up the rest of it. Let the oil clean it. Seep on through. Hit both sides. I'm using a little bit more than I probably should, but I want to make sure everything gets down in there. Gets that bearing all cleaned up. Looking nice, working right. So I don't want to have to buy any parts if I don't have to. Things are more expensive these days. So I don't want to cause Bugman to have to spend money he doesn't need to. Get all the dirt and grime taken out of that gear there on the spool. Keep the camera going the right way. I don't know why that gear slides up and down, but the spool itself looks fairly clean. I'll go ahead, do some wiping on it. Get good and clean on the inside and outside. One thing I noticed about this spool, instead of being machined aluminum, it's rubber. So that should keep everything from slipping once you put line on it. Which I wonder why they got rid of that, went away from that. So it looks like that might hold up a little bit better. as far as keeping your line on, keep it from spinning. You don't get just the right knot at just the right tension. And I've got a small bowl of clean water here to rinse everything off with. Go ahead and dry as much of this water off as I can. There's Solo Texas Adventures. How you doing, Ricky? Thanks for coming in. And so you guys are stuck with me today. Serena's at work. I happen to have the day off for supply issues where I work. But, you know, they were able to schedule this supply issue about a month in advance, so I'm not real certain how they have a supply issue if they can schedule it a month in advance. But I'm not the one that does all of that, so I guess they know what they're doing. Because to me, I'm pretty sure it's just got to do with being able to charge more for this, charge more for that. Because they're blaming it on stuff happening in Europe. It's got a whole lot of old grease in it. See if we can get all that out of the gear there. Might need a stiffer brush, which I don't have. Yeah, sunfish. I believe from the research that Bugman did, this rail was made either in the 60s or 70s. But the way Abu dates their stuff, it's kind of hard to say. Because I don't like the way they date them. They don't just have in your normal date codes. They add 10 years to this number. They go on a Swedish calendar, and I have no idea what the difference is between our calendar and the Swedish calendar. Hey, Indiana Chris, how you doing? Martin S., thanks for coming in. So if any of you guys know the difference between our calendar and the Swedish calendar, I'd like to know. And we got that done. I'll add grease to that later. If I can't get this cleaned up. Some of this old grease out of here. I'm not quite sure what this part is called, simply because the parts diagram I have doesn't have anything labeled. So I do apologize for that. If I can find out any more information on it, I will let you know. But as of right now, I don't know what this little part is called or why it's in there. But I know it's got to do with the tension. It's a tension spring of some sort. Now, where did I put that left side case? Grab Q-tip here. Try to get some of this old grease out. Clean up on the case a little bit. So what's everybody doing today? See, Want to Be Outdoors has jokes today. Theirs is Swedish, ours is American. Huh. Who would have guessed that, Matt? Outside of this case cleaned up a little bit. Looks like I might have missed somebody. Where we going there? Oh, well, Indiana Chris. Yeah, I used to have a CB in my car, back in the day before cell phones were so prominent. It's a good way to get a hold of people. Good way to pass the time when you're going down the road. Got people to talk to. Find out if there's a speed trap anywhere close. Sunfish for fish, is that going to be live or is that just going to be a private thing? Well, there's still a lot of grease down in here. A lot of old grease. Guess I didn't have enough soap in there. We didn't seem to want to clean up real well. See if a little more scraping will do. Well, not scraping, but brushing. Sunfish for fish. Sunfish for fish. If that's going to be on a live, maybe one of the moderators can share your link out there, and we can all enjoy it later. It looks better. Get some of this on the outer side done. Get it all nice and clean. Well, Matt, as long as you got it figured, I guess that's all we can go with. Well, this little clip is going to be hard to clean, but we'll see what we can do. All right. Can one of my moderators look up Clayton the fishing nut and share his link out there for us? Then maybe we can all go watch Clayton the fishing nut, Sunfish for Fish on their little competition there. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Well, welcome, Rustic. Sorry I missed you earlier. I didn't know you was in here. Last I had seen you a few minutes ago, you was still over there on downtown Ernie Brown's lot. But I do appreciate you coming in, even if it is just for a short time. Excuse me. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to this O-ring. See if I can't slide this this ring here back into place without having to go out to the garage, get my tools for it, for a snap ring. This seems to come out pretty easily, not having my snap ring pliers. Make sure I got it set in that groove right, which it appears to be. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but we've got snap ring back in. Hold up this bearing. If I can get it to hold on something here, give her a little spin. I don't think I've got anything that'll hold it, so I can spin it. So maybe if we just put her on here. No, that's not doing what I want it to do. I need to find something here that will hold that, if I can, because the bearing seems to be in pretty good shape. That don't fit. Will this fit in there and do what I want it to do? Yeah, there we go. That'll hold that bearing. No, no, it won't. Oh yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, bearing feels to be in pretty good shape. Just add some more oil. Just keep it clean. That way there. You want these bearings to work right nicely. Slide her back in there. Roll this little cap back in. Do a little cleaning here on the spool tension knob itself. Hey, Johnny Small Pepper, thanks for coming in. See if I can get those spacers out of there. Give them a cleaning. Throw some oil in there if I can get them out. But they're not looking like they want to come out. So I'll just drop some oil down in there and float them out. There we go. There's one of them. See if we can't get the other one out of there. Now, the second one didn't want to float out, but I'm pretty sure we got some oil underneath it. So, I can wipe this real well. Make it all nice and shiny and new. Got oil in there. Throw another drop of oil on top of it. Not certain that it necessarily needs it, but you know, why not? Keep everything clean. Go ahead and put this back in there. We got our O-ring lubed up, so it should keep that from drying out a little bit. Make it a little bit easier to operate. Got our case clean. Got that clean. Mike's Fishing Home, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Drop a little oil on our. This is where our little gear goes. So I'll drop a little bit of oil on that. Just to make sure everything spins nice and freely. Just to kind of help her out a little bit. So I missed a little bit of grease here. See if I can't get it. Here we go. Get her screw back on. Find the right screwdriver here. This doesn't take a whole lot of tightening on that. So you don't want to strip anything out. Just wipe down that screw. Get it as clean as I can. Your grease here. Get her open. Follow my little paint brushes. There they are. Grab some of this grease. There on that gear. I'm not going to put a lot because as it spins, it will distribute it for me. So I don't have to put a whole lot on there. There we go. That's ready to go. Put that up here. Now, what else do we have? We have the right side. Real Gals Fishing Mississippi. Thanks for coming in. Tanya Hollis. See somebody saying hi to Bugman. Let's see, when did he come in? Oh, I appreciate that, Mike's Fishing Home. It looks like Bugman's in. It would be nice if Bugman was in here. It is his reel. Hey, Fishing and Freedom. Thanks for coming in. Bugman, thanks for coming in. For watching me work on your reel. Well, Bugman, I'm not real good at doing notifications and stuff. Not real sure if I did it right. But you're here now, so I guess that's really all that's important. Let's set back up. Get everything to mesh in. There we go. I guess we'll do some cleaning on the case. Some of this old grease. Take out the worm dryer. Just got a little bracket here. It comes right on out. Then we can slide out the worm gear. If I would have been smart enough to remember to take the pawl off. Because, you can't get the stuff apart with everything together still. You gotta get that line guide pawl off. Gotta get him to come out. There we go. Now everything should slide apart. All nice and easy and pretty. Now, I don't know how well this is going to show up, but on the newer Abus, you don't have that little groove to get your fingernails on to get that thing pulled out. I like that. I wish they would still do it. Go ahead and get a cleaning brush out. Rag back over here to drip all this stuff on. Clean up this pawl, get all that old grease off of it. Get all looking nice and shiny and new. Yeah, I don't know why I put that away when I know I'm going to need it again. Everything's shifted over out of the way so I can spread this out. It might show up a little bit better, easier on a different colored surface. All right, now we'll go with the worm gear itself. Get her all cleaned up. Try to get all that old grease out of them grooves. All right, well, it'll work just a whole lot better. So far, Bugman, I haven't found anything that this needs yet. So I'm going to say pretty much the only thing it'll probably need will be drag washers sometime in the future. But all reels need drag washers at some point in the future. Well, no, Bugman, I'm not so certain about that because the information I found is they add 10 years to that, so it's hard to tell. Because they have an odd numbering system that I don't like. Well, this one's going to be rough to get all nice and clean. I think we got it. All that stuff off of there from that paper towel. So this one ain't going to come all nice and shiny. It's a little discolored from all that old grease. Good old grease on here too. It's not. There we go. It's coming off now. Yeah, definitely need to get some stiffer brushes. Get some of this older grease off. Because some of this grease is just going to stain the metal. But we got her clean. Now, grab Q-tip here. Thought I had a good one. Yeah, this one will do. Just the other side. All that grease is caked up. We're going to have to let that soak for a bit, folks. While we go ahead and turn our attention to the reel cage. Well, man, it doesn't have to be standard. It's just what was on sale at the time. I'll eventually get all the tools that I need to do this a little bit better as time goes on. So right now I'm just trying to find stuff that'll work and do what I need it to do. Get the job done now. So nice clean in there. Let's see if we can't get this reel cage to clean up nicely. It's dirty, I can tell you that. I don't want to have to go over to the sink, do a bunch of scrubbing. Might need to get some 4-aught steel wool. Maybe some tools for my Dremel that's not going to damage anything. So I guess I'll have to practice on my reels first, find out what will and won't work best way. I gotta say this old grease it's being a bear. Being difficult. But this soap seems to be getting the bulk of it all clean. If I need to, I'll run out to the garage and get some WD-40 to help clean it. Just good old-fashioned scrubbing should do it, though. It's looking all nice and clean. Little cracks and crevices are going to be the hard part. So just elbow grease, really all I like to do, unless I have to do more. Just the insides, down on the back sides here that are pain to get to. And I know I don't have a stiff enough brush for that. Yeah, man, I need a salt tank. Thought about getting one of those sonic cleaning tanks. Because I'm sure I would use that for more than just this. Then maybe a rock tumbler, rock polisher, because that will polish some stuff. Help make it look all nice and good, pretty. Get everything polished. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Matt. Just something small that won't damage finish on either painted surface or you're on these chrome plated surfaces. Excuse me. I don't want to use a scraper or anything. Don't really like using the pick to get into those spots. But I've got to find something, some kind of solvent that will eat away this old grease and get down in those little hard to reach places. But that's one of those things you really can't do on it live. You don't want to have this stuff sitting in a solvent tank for a while you're trying to do it live. No, I think that would just be, well, that would irritate me. I don't know if I'd want to watch it. And I doubt anybody else would. So guess what I'll do for now is just clean it like this, and then after the live, if I'm not happy with it, I'll take it apart, clean it again. But I want it to be the best cleaning that I can do. So I don't want it to go back to the owner looking as bad as it did when it came. So I'd like to get it looking as new as possible, as clean as possible, so that the owner has a good experience with it. Yeah, I know, Matt. That's why I'm not trying to use it unless I absolutely have to. Get a chip in it or a scratch, it can mess up the operation of the reel, and I don't want to do that. So I know I need to get some good microfiber cloths that will help clean some of this. Well, they seem to have good prices on them at Harbor Freight, Matt. And I likely have one close to me. Probably within a 20-minute drive I can be to a Harbor Freight. Okay, I'm having a little stubborn spot here. See if I can get up in there with a little bit more cleaning. But right there under that handle, that's not an easy spot to reach, especially if you got fat fingers. So these little cracks and crevices that can be a pain. Oh, Indiana Chris, I might have to go look see if I got any in the cabinet. That is a good idea. Well, hello, Becca. Thanks for coming in. With the 31 wonderful viewers, I think that's a record for me. So I gotta say, I do truly appreciate everybody watching, spending their Monday with me. So I can't get this work down in there where I get a little bit cleaner. So I know if I leave just one little spot on here dirty because I can't reach it, it's going to irritate me. Then I'll have to take it apart and figure out how to do it again. Find a better way to get in there, get that little spot. This little spot right here is just, I already know it's going to give me fits if I don't get it as clean as I want it. And I'll end up having to take it apart again. Did one for rustic, and I think I took that reel apart 3 times to clean it, just to get it the way I wanted it. So I'm pretty sure that Rustic was happy with it. I know he's used it, which I'm glad he did, because that was the point, getting it all cleaned up and oiled up and ready to go, so he could use it. And I see you guys were going to let me forget this little groove. Thanks, fellas. And get that little groove cleaned out where the fall guide runs. Need to give me a desk lamp for over here, just so I can see a little bit better. That way I can see right away if I've missed a spot. Get a little bit more light on the subject, so to speak. Well, my lovely wife Serena made it in again. She must have got a little break there from work. Oh, yeah, almost forgot about that cover. It's in there somewhere. There it is. There it is. The old Q-tips out. Well, I guess I get Q-tips out now and try to get down inside there, get that old grease out best that I can. Because it's dirty, all that old dried up grease. Maybe put a few drops of oil in there. With a clean toothpick or cotton swab. See if this oil will get some of that old grease out. Oh yeah, it's helping out a lot, getting it a lot cleaner. Everything lubricated back up. All right, now we got that clean. We can go ahead and at this point start reassembling the left side case before we get into that right side that nobody likes to do. It's a little intimidating. And that's what took me so long to do my own, is because of that right side. I don't know how many I took apart and then had to redo because I forgot something or because it didn't work. When I got done. So that goes in from the other side there. Because if you'll notice on one side, it's a little bit different shape. Use my thumb back here. See if you guys can see it. It's not round. Right angle here. It's more of a rectangular shape, where on this side you got it's round. And get this guide put back in. It's spun around where to snap in. Because all this one does is just sit there. Well, now, it's not wanting to do what I'm wanting it to do. It's not wanting to go in place. Like it should. It only fits in the one way, but it's not wanting to fit in. Come on. Slide off my finger. Oh no, why can't I find my flat sides? Because they're just not wanting to slide in there like they should, like they're supposed to. That does no good if it's just going to turn. So we will try it a different way, figure out what I'm doing wrong. That's just not wanting to fit in there like it should. If it's just going to spin, it ain't going to do nothing. No, it doesn't come in from this way. Then it's not long enough. Oh, yeah. Don't be giving me fits here. But it's wanting to give me fits. No, it's only got two flat sides. But it's not wanting to fit in there like it should. Because it shouldn't be turning. It's just not wanting to snap in. And I know that's on the right side. Oh, now, why is this being this way? Well, where is Serena going? She left already? I say, guys, sometimes I feel kind of dumb. The reason that was spinning is because it fits in this tube. And that's what keeps it from spinning. Sometimes I just don't think ahead. Almost forgot to do the Paul housing. Can't forget this little guy. He's got to be clean too. So as I'm sitting here making these mistakes on reassembly, hope you guys are paying attention. That way, if you're doing your own, you can say, oh, I remember what that dummy did. And try to put it together in the wrong order. That's why that wouldn't work. Q-tip so we can get cleaning in here. Shove her down in here where the paw goes. Get it clean. Get her dried off, rinsed off. Then get her dried off. Clean out any grease in there in them threads if you can. Because this is normally the part I forget. I always forget to put this back on. And I have to take it apart 3 or 4 times to figure out why that's not working right. And I just get a little frustrated with it. Well, now snap into place like you're supposed to. Of course, it helps if you get that bushing in there the right way. That's always a good thing to do. We'll get in there, you booger. There we go. Now we got her snapped in. And we can put her over here and it not fit right for some reason. All right, gotta figure out what I did wrong. Maybe you guys can help. Let's get her through there, come over and figure out why it didn't fit. Well, I think I got her in there the wrong way, had it right the first time. Now just get that back out of there. Sometimes I do like to try to pre-fit stuff just to make sure I'm doing it right. Then I don't mind having to do it a couple extra times. Because I don't always get it right. Let's see, that's still not wanting to fit right. And on some of these diagrams, you just can't see it well enough to see that it's not fitting right or how it's supposed to go. A lot of their diagrams are just too small. And this is just the little fiddly bits that frustrate me. So no, they only fit one way. And I always seem to get it wrong 3 times in a row before I get it right for something that only goes one way. So to me, that's a bit of a mystery on how I can do that. But I managed to do it. It's kind of like with your phone charger cord. Back when it would only fit the one way. Well, why is that not fitting in there? It's supposed to fit in there, but it's not fitting in there. I know it only fits one way. For some reason, I can never get that right way. Oh, almost dropped it. Almost dropped it. A different approach. See, that doesn't fit that way. Flip it over. Just straight flip it over. Then it doesn't want to fit here. So you're just as out of luck. Now that should fit just right up in there. Just like that. But let's see if it'll fit right like that again after I put it in this way. Because I know I just had it fitting. There we go. Now she's back on there. Now we can get this one in. That just fits right in like it's supposed to. There we go. Snapped her into place. Now we just have this little lock. Slides on a pin there. Then you just got to make sure everything's lined up properly. And then get a little bit of pressure on that little spring clip. Well, you get it down under the next pin. And voila, you got her in there after a half hour trying. For some reason, this seems to be what takes me the longest is just these little fiddly bits. So all that stuff should be working just fine. But no, that's the part that's got to give you a problem every time. Get this spun around to where it's right. There's my little guide hole. And our little screws back in. Well, solo, it's got to be my phone that I'm using to film with because it looks blurry on my computer. It looks blurry on my TV. I don't know what the deal is. Because my laptop seems to be just doing just fine. But it's the quality of my phone camera for some reason. I've got it set to the highest resolution. Maybe I should try the lowest. That's right, backyard carpet. It's these darn fiddly bits that give me the problems. All them little pieces. See, here's another one of them little fiddly bits. Trying to get this line guide pawl back in. Get it seat. Get it spun back on. So that gave you very little room to work on this side. Oh, then we got that in there. Might need to get a little tighter because it's not wanting to spin. Yep, gotta tighten her down there. No, that's too much. Oh no, you line it back up in your bearing. Well, now you know, bugger. Tighten up just right. And do your job. Spread that lubrication out there. Well, this one might need a line guide pawl. Oh, no, that just came loose. Let's see if we got her going now. Yep, she's going across. Now we're done with that side. Let's go with the intimidating side. Well, backyard carp, for what I'm doing, is my only option for a live stream for this. Because I can't get the camera on the laptop to aim where it needs to be. And I never did get a webcam for my computer. Oh yeah, this one's going to be fun, fellas. Little cap on the bearing. Go ahead and get some oil on this bearing to get it pre-cleaned. Yes, because maybe if I hold it still enough, you guys can see that this has the old system. Little spring in there for your clutch plate. Little spring there, spring inside. Give you your free spool. Don't get her spun there. Got these springs here. And this is going to be a good time, fellas. Go ahead and get this spacer and these. Oh, we got spring washer and a shim washer. The spring washer on that side. Because this doesn't have anti-reverse bearing. And it's got the anti-reverse dog, which engages in your gears down here on the bottom. instead of just being anti-reverse in the handle. And we got 2 springs here, and all them springs are a different size. So I'm going to have to be real careful with this, just to make sure I get all my springs back on the right side. So I'm going to lay them out just right here in the order that they came out, in about the right position as compared to when they were on there. It says they are different sizes. I'm going to lay them out as they sit inside. And try to remember, because I've done another reel similar to this with the same setup. I just have to remember that on how I got that out. Now that we know, a lot of these parts are riveted in, so they won't be coming back out. As you can see, we've got rivets here, a rivet there. The spring housing is riveted in. Now that spring can come out. Pretty sure that will slide over. But I'm thinking that's going to be a pain to put back in, so I'm not going to take it out because it's not worth it. Because that's the spring that will get lost, I guarantee it. And for what we're doing today, just doing a cleaning, I don't think that one needs to come out. Go ahead and get all this old grease cleaned out. Which it doesn't look like it's going to come out easily. So what I am going to do is talk amongst yourself while I go get some hot water. Well, this isn't quite the way I wanted to do it, but since that grease is old, I'm going to let the hot water do most of the scrubbing. Here, I'll take time to get caught up with chat for a minute. Well, I thought about that solo. Thought about going out to the garage and getting a WD-40, but I didn't want to do that. Kitchen sink was a whole lot faster. Straight to the point outdoors. Thanks for coming in. Oh, no. So I'll be slapping grease back on it. But we do have other parts we can clean while we wait. Because we've got the case here. We can go ahead and clean that while we're soaking that. Get some of the old grease and grime off of here. See if we can't get this side looking pretty. Well, straight to the point. It was all sunshiny this morning. We got some cloud cover moving in. Rained overnight. And now it's just cloudy, a little cool. Well, I'm supposed to get to 50 something today. But other than that, it's not a bad day. Other than the river being up. I'm not real happy about that. But there's nothing I can do about that. Yeah, straight to the point. Bugman was saying, yeah, I think he was saying he had snow up there this morning too. So no, I was in someone else's live earlier watching, and they were talking about snow. And I do believe Bugman said that he had snow this morning. Here again, I know you're not going to be able to see it, but we have a snap ring on the inside there on this side as well. No, backyard carpet's supposed to be 81 Saturday. So it should be a good weekend to get out on the river. Oh, I see what you're saying, Matt. Yeah. But I'm not going to remove anything I don't have to. Nothing was broken. It was just gummed up from years of sitting. The old grease drying up. No, no. As you can see, it's got some wear. And I suggested to Bugman maybe some model paint, like, back in the day when kids made model cars and painted it themselves. Maybe that will, he can find one match, and that will take care of his color problem there. Now, see how dirty the back of that handle is. Let's see if we can fix that. Well, even that grease and grime is wanting to be a battle. But it's coming off. This one seems to have been sitting for a while to get all that grease and grime just caked on like that. Definitely need a stiffer brush, I'll tell you that. Oh, fishing for whiskers, I appreciate that. I don't have a crap ton of patience, nor do I have good eyes. My hands ain't that steady. But I do what I can. And we got some grease right around this rivet here that's being a pain to get. And I don't like doing it, but I'm going to have to use a pointer here, a little hook, get some of that. My brush just isn't stiff enough. And like I said earlier, if I'm not happy with this at the end of this live stream, I will take it apart and clean it again till I get it to where I want it to be to my satisfaction. I mean, I hate doing that, but sometimes, you do something, then you get done with it and you're just not happy with the results, so you do it again. I'll even do it a couple of times just till I'm happy with it. Because I'm kind of thinking if I'm not happy with my own work, somebody else isn't going to be happy with my work. Yeah, that's true, Matt. And you need some things, not everybody buys a toothbrush just for their teeth. Some of us use it to clean stuff. And just a really, really soft one just doesn't always do it. This has got the pearl white knobs on the handle. I don't know if any of them come with that anymore. So I know my last reel that I got, it came with the black paddle handle. It was flat. This is nice round ones. Let's see if I can get a drop or two of oil down in here. There's no bearings in there, but get some oil down in here and help maybe get it spinning around just a little better. They got a little noise. Go ahead and clean up our star drag here. By my dang brother. Well, I'm using two brushes, so I don't always know where I set one down at. Well, fishing for whiskers, I'll give that a try. Because I don't want to have to get like one of those brass wire brushes or anything like that. So I don't want to tear up somebody else's reel if it damages the surface. Because then I'm buying parts that may not, trying to replace parts that may not be available. And in that case, I'm looking on eBay for a used one. And you know how eBay auctions are. They're waiting for somebody to give them as much as they want before they sell some. They won't give you just a straight buy now price because they want top dollar for everything that's used, even if it's just for parts. Try to get threads cleaned out a little bit. And with this here, I really don't have much of a choice but to use this hook to try to get down into this little corner. I don't have anything that'll fit in there. Well, there's old Dominic Hollis. Gave that wife of yours away yet? I hear nobody wants to take her still. Go ahead and get our little handle tension spring cleaned up. Get a good brushing on it. This got grease on it too. Well, you keep trying, Dominic. Or maybe you'll get lucky and she'll find somebody to take you. Put the old flex back in there. Now to get this cleaned up. Because these are a pain to put back in. So because they fall out every time you go to do something. Then you got to take the cover back off. And then you got to put it back in, get it back where it's supposed to be, just so it can fall out again. I try to get any old grease that's in underneath there. Yeah, looks to be pretty good. And we've got two shims in there as well. See if we can get them floated up, get them out. What I had to do on the other side. No, these are just one that, oh, almost had them. Almost had them. But I can only always seem to get one to come out. That will only float the one. Oh, this one's got three in there. The other side only had two. Just go ahead and put them back in. Throw another drop of oil in there to replace what I came out and what I just dropped. Wiped off. And we've got these. These are pretty easy to clean. You just got to kind of wipe them. Now, Dominic, maybe one of these days you'll rethink that, and you'll decide to keep her. I mean, after all, look how much she does putting up with you. That can't be easy. Let that sit there and soak a little bit more. We're done there. We're done there. Now we're on to the drag stack. Something here, make it a little bit easier to see. Go that over there. Oh, we forgot the pinion gear. I'm gonna clean the pinion gear. Can't go through all this trouble not cleaning the pinion gear. It'll be getting greased a little later. Go ahead and rinse that one off, set it over here to dry. Now we can get to the drag stack. All right, see if we can get all this pushed off. Okay, we've got a little spacer on the bottom. Well, that's an old drag washer. Assembly. Well, I guess that wasn't a washer on the bottom. That was the drag washer. And with this drag washer on top, looks like they've got that on there permanently. So I'm not going to pry on that. I'm just going to try to clean it. So I don't want to damage that. So I don't know if they make those anymore. Being as that's a one piece. So I'm going to be very careful with cleaning this one. If that doesn't come off, I'm not going to force it off. Just because that may be a part they don't make anymore. And as you can see here, we've got a tension spring on the inside of your drive gear for your drag, and a little rusty. So we're not going to be trying to take that out because it's riveted in also. Go ahead and wash that out, get that old grease off. Get our gears here, get them cleaned up. Looks in pretty good shape for as old as it is. Just take a Q-tip, wipe down on the inside, so I don't want to mess up that spring. I don't want to bend it up any more than it needs to be. Want to make sure it doesn't press down. Go ahead and clean up our drive here. If I can't keep from tossing that around. You're dry it off there. So all in all, this looks like a reel's in pretty good shape. You know, that one went on top. This is where your anti-reverse goes. This little dog here, real, but your anti-reverse, it will cause that to engage. Let's see how we got that. Can we see it? That will engage like that. We'll go one way, but not the other. So, gotta remember to get drag washer on there. Throw our gear on. Then go with this. There we go. Now we got that. We've got to get the rest of it. Should be a whole lot easier to clean now. Oh yeah, it looks like that grease broke up a whole lot better. Well, maybe we can get some cleaner done on it. Now, I'll probably go run this under hot water just to make sure I am getting all this old grease out before I put new grease in there. But the back side's cleaning up right nicely. I'm really hoping the front side does too. I'm gonna go rinse this off right quick. I'll be right back. Now this piece here I may go spray with WD-40 because the WD does stand for water displacement. So I don't want any more moisture in there than there needs to be. I don't think I have my air compressor hooked up. Maybe I just need to buy a can of compressed air so I can get the water out that way. Well, we'll see what we can do here. Just getting everything cleaned out this way. Yeah, Tanya Hoss has probably been working on a way to get rid of Dominic. It looks like I'm getting most of that water off this way. Yeah, that should do. Get some of this old grease off of here. Got to get my pinion gear back in. Get that to spring back into place. Well, now that thing would go back into place a while ago. Why ain't it want to now? Other than because it's catching down there, I guess. And because I want it to. There'd be another reason why it won't. Come on now. Unpin for me. Get back in there. Well, now this little gear just doesn't want to go. Get up in there. Back up there where you go. There we go. That little guy wasn't cooperating. There was the problem. You know, we got this little spring to put back on. These are always fun. Because they always want to go flying. And you really don't want to push them and stretch them too hard. Because then you break them, get them out of round, whatever you want to call it. Try to get these springs on first. Try to get everything to stay in place. There we go. We got that one on. Yay. That's great. Good. Let's see if we can't get this other one on as easily. You don't want your springs flying around. One more spring to go. Get our thumb lever back in place here. See if I can get that pinion to go in. Figure out which one is giving me fits this time. It's wanting to keep me from being able to pull that back. It's one of them. It was that one. Here's my last spring. See if we can get it to go on just as easily and on the first try like we did the last one. Last two. Oh, this one wants to be a little bit more difficult. So we'll try it this way first. No spring on there. Come on now. Don't be like them little fiddly bits. There we go. Now we got her in there. Now she's in there. All right. Well, no, I've got to put that bench, that and a reverse dog back on first. Where did I set that thing down? That's probably under here. No, I've got him sitting somewhere. There he is. There he is. But you've got to get it on that gear first and get her on that pin as you slide it down. That makes it a whole lot easier to get that together. Well, Whisker Dreams, I am working on an Abu Garcia 5000C that Bugman sent me to work on for him to get cleaned up. And I've got the usual parts list. Well, I don't have the parts list, but I have the diagram. And right now we are in the process of putting it back together. There, because it goes over here. Which I've got to have other pieces on first. We had these. We had this. I'll get on there. You're around, you'll fit. We had this little piece. And we had her here. That's just for the bottom. Get our screws here. And I didn't know, you guys were going to let me put that back together without putting grease in there. What's wrong with you guys? How are you going to let me put that back together without greasing anything? Oh, I swear. This little gear in here all cleaned up. There's some grease under all these moving parts here. Can't believe you guys were going to let me do that. Let's see how you guys are now. You guys wanted me to take his back apart. Some grease around this. It will self-distribute. Grease on there. Some grease underneath there. Yep, everything moves, works smoothly. It come back out. Looks like they both come out. There we go. Come out a little bit. Get some more grease underneath. There we go. Now to get that little backlash, and I reverse back in there. Now we can put it together. And just a touch more grease here on this drive here. Said you guys wanted to let me put this together without greasing. Boy, everything worked in there where it's flush. Put your screws back in. All right, Bugman, you go ahead and get the parents fed, get them taken care of. They are your priority. And I'll give you a text when I get her done. Thanks, backyard cart, for reminding me to get that grease in there. You know, after the fact. These screws all tight and back up. Make sure that's all good there. That goes on her bearing. Yeah, bearing feels like it's oiled up pretty good. Get it snapped back into place. Put it on. I guess that's a bearing cover. This one's over here. No O-ring on this side. I wonder why. Guess they don't mind if it gets water from this side. Get our deal on there. So I start drag back on. And we're spinning pretty good. It held down there. There we go. Yeah, figure out which one is for what. Okay, there we go. There's the one I'm looking for. Back down so we can get them all screwed down right. Everything moving so it'll fit flush. But it's not wanting to fit flush for some reason. It could just be that I don't have the screws in right. So we'll try to tighten down these screw caps here and see what happens. Could just be that anti-reverse, dog. It's always wanting to cause a problem. Or it could be that we're not lined up on our spool just right where it's sitting flush. So I'll take that off and see if I can get that spool lined up a little better. Hey, Danny Stone, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, guys, I think that was the problem. I don't think that was mated in properly with the spool. Now she's fitting a whole lot better. There we go. Yeah. Almost got this buttoned up. In almost 2 hours, folks. 19 wonderful people watching. Thank you all for coming in and sharing your time with me today. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to redo that handle, guys. I know I can get it cleaner. I just got to find the right tool to do it with without causing damage to it. Handle nut back on here. See if I'm getting cross threaded. At least trying to. There we go. That's better. Don't want to over tighten it because it is just brass. And that pawl came loose again. There, I just don't have enough drag on it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I didn't have enough drag. Spool's a little tight. There we go. Get some oil in here. Get some more oil in here. Put a drop on each side. That way, as that pawl goes across there, it'll lube up everything there. Let's see here. Loosen that up just a touch on each side. Yeah, it's spinning pretty good, guys. Locks in like it's supposed to. Line guide works like it's supposed to. Maybe put a drop of oil down here. That way it's not wearing out there either. So I don't want to put grease in there and then it'd just be all catching crud. There we have it, guys. Abu Garcia 5000C. All cleaned up. I like to find some kind of polish to put on these. That way they get a good shine, even though they are old. So I'll be wiping that down again after I get my hands all good and clean. That way, no fingerprints, smudges, or anything on there, and get it in best looking shape I can. All right, Dominic. See your message there. All right, backyard car. And Dominic, I seen your comment about the Abu 5000, and I will get with you sometime on that. But you did say might. Let's see, where was it? Where's the comment? Oh, it moved up. Where to go? Gotta find that comment. Let's start way down here. Yeah, you did say might, Dominic. So, if you need me, get a hold of me. Yeah, I am going to say that, Bugman, you might need new drag washers. Now, I will look those up and see if I can find them and let you know how much they are and all that. I might have to take that under advisement, Gary. No, Bugman, I'm not a craftsman. I'm just taking stuff apart and cleaning it. The craftsman was the guy that designed it to begin with. Well, I do appreciate the comment. Trina, aren't you glad Matt stopped saying meow? I know there for a while. Matt was meowing this, meowing that. But Bugman, when I text you later, give me a little while and I'll look up and see if I can't find them part numbers to Ford drag washers because they're a lot different than the ones they use on the newer ones. So let me research that, see if I can get you a price with it. Well, I don't know that I have any new car spray smell, Matt, but I'll see what I can find. Let's see, what did my lovely wife say? I don't know about snazzy. Uh, oh no, Bug man, we couldn't do that. I know you said you had a rod coming for it. That is, well, let me try using this camera over here. Maybe it'll work better. But it's black, Matt. Nice little reel. Spinning nice and smooth now. Should make Bugman a good reel. Oh, Bugman, we couldn't accept that. We don't know. No, you had to give something for the reel, and all you did was send it. I mean, I'm not doing this to make money. I'm not good enough to do this to make money, so it gives me something to make a video with, do a live, get everybody together. At one point, I was up to 31 people, and I think that's a record for me on a live. So that's payment enough right there. So we'll get this back to you after I take it apart again, because I'm sure I'm not going to be happy with that handle. I know I'm going to want to clean it, try to get that handle a little bit cleaner. Besides, Brian, we got to get your sock back to you. I don't want to just mail you back a sock. We do appreciate the offer, Brian, but no, we're going to send it back to you. I don't want to do this just to get reels given to me. You had to pay for it. I mean, it's just a few dollars to ship it back to you, so that's no big deal. Well, I don't know what you would be infested with, bud man. And I'm sure if you were infested, it wouldn't make you happy. All right, Matt, drive safely. Help your daughter with her homework. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Matt. Hope everything's all right and turns out okay. Now, Bugman, are you sure your father wouldn't want to use it? You know, you got that fishing trip with him and your mother coming up soon. You know, he may want this reel. Talk to him first, then get back with us. And if your father doesn't want it, then, well, I guess me and Serena will keep it. We do appreciate it, and we will take you fishing this summer sometime. As soon as we find someplace that has fish in it. Now, we appreciate that, Brian. But like I say, ask your father if he wants it first. I mean, I'm just happy that you trusted me to do it and to get a live out of it, and that's all I really wanted. Backyard carp, the numbers are 097200. Now, I don't know why I moved that cursor over and hit the chat button, put that when I could just hit the enter button. I did a lot of extra work for that. Well, Bug Man, I hope it's not your last trip with your folks. Hope you have many more to go. I know as the older they get, it's their mobility goes down. It does make it harder. No, thank you, Clayton, the fishing nut. Appreciate it. Now, if someone can post Clayton's link again, because him and Sunfish for Fish are having a little fish off this afternoon around 3. All right, Serena, you have fun at work. Love you, sweetheart. All right, Bugman, since you're insisting so heavily, we'll go ahead and keep it. May just put it up on the shelf. No, after I got that cleaned, I noticed there's some nicks up here in the rail there. Didn't notice that before. I wonder if there's any way I can get that to come out. Guess we'll have to see. But I do truly appreciate it, Bugman. I'm sure Serena will find something to put it on. Now, I'm sorry to hear that, Bugman. You may surprise you, though. But I hope you get a few more summers at Shack and Mac with him. There we go. Get all this other stuff out of the way. Get her turned around. Like I say, we appreciate it, Bugman. We like to feel good too. That's why I was doing it without charging you. That way you'd have a reel that you can use. I would have got a video out of it. Well, I'm sure you need us, Bug Man. We'll be there for you. And yeah, get with Shereen on Facebook and we'll work out a time to go fishing together. As soon as we find someplace that has fish. And Shakamak Park's not that far away. I don't know if they've got catfish or not. You know, we might just come up there and fish there. That way you're not too far away from your parents if they need you on short notice. Well, guys, let's see. You know, hope they take care of your dogs as well as you're taking care of your parents. Well, guys, all right, I'm glad we can make you smile, Bug Man. But this has been a couple hours and it's a Monday, so I think I'll go ahead and end this one here. Much appreciation to Bug Man for sending me this reel to do a live with. And even more appreciation for the gift he made out of it. I know we'll put it to use. Yeah, Bug Man, I know what you mean. I was hoping it was going to be a nice warm day today, but it didn't turn out that way. So until next time, guys, happy fishing. Have a good time. And thank you again, Bug Man. I do appreciate it.